A few months ago, the all-in-one personal finance app Plum launched their Lifetime ISA. I'm always a big fan of more platforms offering ISAs. I think ISAs are an absolute game changer for those looking to save up for their first home or for retirement, as the government gives you a 25% bonus on top of what you put in. That bonus helped me massively save up for my deposit to get this place, and ever since then I've been shouting about Lifetime ISAs to pretty much anyone who'll listen. So when I found out that Plum had launched a Lifetime ISA, I simply had to check it out. If you're not familiar with Plum, they've got over 2 million customers and offer a host of savings accounts, investment options, budgeting features, and even AI deposit tools. All of these features are focused on the goal to help you grow your money and take control, and they're all inside one app. In this video, we'll be focusing on their Lifetime ISA, how it works, the interest rate, and how it stacks up against Moneybox. I'll also show you inside the app because Plum's features are really what set them apart. Then we'll finish the video with a pros and cons analysis to help you determine if this Lifetime ISA suits you. If you're new here, I'm Finch, a manager consultant by day, and on this channel we like to discuss all things personal finance with a particular focus on how to grow your money. If this sounds good to you, then I'd greatly appreciate subscribe. But for this video, let's get into it, and let's kick off with a quick recap of what actually is a Lifetime ISA and who they're suited to. A Lifetime ISA is a tax-free investment or savings account which lets you save up to £4,000 per tax year. The key selling point of the account is that the government will add a 25% bonus on top of what you put in, up to £1,000 per year. That's not a one-time deal either. You get the bonus every tax year you contribute. However, there are strict withdrawal conditions to be aware of, in that you can only withdraw for two main purposes. Firstly, to buy your first home, as long as it costs less than $450k, or for retirement, in that you can access the funds from the age of 60. If you withdraw for any other reason, there's a 25% penalty. Nonetheless, if you do withdraw for the right reasons, then this account is hands down one of the best in the UK, and it's the first point of call for many people building their first time property deposit. Now you know all about Lifetime ISAs, let's move on to Plum's specific offering, and let's talk about protection, as security is often a concern when it comes to using fintechs like Plum. With this Lifetime ISA, you have FSCS protection for eligible deposits up to 85k. You may be thinking, how is this the case, as Plum is not a bank? But your money is actually held with Lloyds and Citibank, both of which are FSCS covered. Now we've got that out of the way, let's talk about the main reason you're likely watching this video, in the interest rate. Plum's Lifetime ISA offering is a cash Lifetime ISA, and currently they're offering a total interest rate of 4.22%. This is made up of two parts. Firstly, a 3.36% variable base rate, and secondly, a 0.86% fixed bonus for the first year. In terms of what this actually means in pound terms, let's take an example. Let's say that you max out your Lifetime ISA allowance and drop in £4,000, and let's assume that the variable rate stays the same throughout the 12 months. In this case, after 12 months, you'd earn around £207 in interest, depending on Plum's exact method to calculate interest, and you'd also earn the £1,000 government bonus. This gives a balance of around £5,207 after 12 months. So in this example, you're essentially getting over £1,200 in free money from the bonus and the interest. And this boost can really help supercharge your savings. In terms of the interest rate specifically, the rate is very competitive, and it's right up there at the top of the LISA interest rate table. It's not currently the best in market though, according to the Money Saving Expert website at the time of recording. Right now, Moneybox is in first place, offering a total interest rate of 4.45%. Tembo is in second at 4.33%, and Plum is in third. However, both Moneybox and Tembo are due to reduce their rates in late August below Plum's rate, and this is why the Money Saving Expert table has Plum at the top. So by the time you're watching this video, Plum could actually be providing the market leading rate. Even if they're not, they will still likely be near the top of the table, which makes Plum a great option for those looking to open a LISA for the first time, especially when you consider all the added features Plum offers on top of the interest rate. Plum's interest rate also means that they offer a great account for those looking to switch LISA providers. I personally regret not switching my lifetime ISA. I had a Moneybox lifetime ISA for over 5 years. I enjoyed a good bonus rate in year 1, but after then I did nothing. I just left my lifetime ISA sitting there at a worse rate for over 4 years. I could have earned hundreds more in interest just by switching, but I didn't. I didn't because I thought it would be a hassle, but in reality it would have taken me as little as 15 minutes to compare the market and do a transfer, as fintechs like Plum make switching ridiculously easy. So if you're planning to keep your lifetime ISA for several years, it's likely a good idea to check your rate every year and consider switching if there's a better rate elsewhere. And at the time of recording, Plum offers one of the best switching options in terms of interest rate. However, there are a few things to watch out for with Plum's interest rate. Just like Moneybox, Plum's bonus only lasts 1 year. After the first year, the 0.86% bonus drops off and the rate goes back to the underlying variable rate, which is currently 3.36%. You do also lose your bonus if you transfer out or cancel within 12 months. So to get the maximum bonus, you've got to be serious about sticking with this account for at least a year. Hopefully now you have a good idea of whether Plum's Cash Lifetime ISA will provide you the best interest rate for your circumstances. Of course, rates may have changed by the time you're watching this. Interest rates do often change, especially when the Bank of England changes base rates. So it's always worth checking and going on to a comparison website such as Money Saving Expert to see the latest rates. However, don't do that just yet, as we've still got plenty to cover in this video. So far, we've only mentioned one variant of lifetime ISAs in a cash lifetime ISA. However, there's also a second variant in a stocks and shares lifetime ISA. The reason we haven't mentioned it is because Plum currently only offers a cash lifetime ISA. So if you're wanting to open a stocks and shares lifetime ISA, Plum won't be the platform for you. Stocks and shares LISAs tend to suit those who don't need the money for at least 5 years and are willing to take some risk. As historically, over the long term, stocks and shares have provided the means, a way to grow your money faster compared to savings. However, most people, at least if they're using their LISA to save up for a property purchase, tend to be looking at a 3 to 5 year time frame. And most people in the UK do opt for the cash lifetime ISA. If you're in this boat, then stick around, as Plum's real unique selling point and their strength in my view with their lifetime ISA is their features. And this is what we'll cover next. To go through this, let's bring up Plum's app. The first thing to say about the feature set is the onboarding process. I was surprised how easy and simple it was to set up a lifetime ISA account. I did have a little bit of a head start as I already had the Plum app set up, so only needed to set up the lifetime ISA account. But nonetheless, it was still super quick. And going by my previous experience of setting up the Plum app from the beginning, setting up the app too is super quick and easy. So this is a big strength of the account. There's no forms, there's no need to post anything off. It's all inside the app, so super simple. When you have the account set up, then it's super easy to manage your lifetime ISA. Here, if I click on my lifetime ISA, we can see at the top it shows my balance. We can see the activity in terms of transactions. We have an interest breakdown. We can track the government bonus, and we can track our annual ISA allowance. There's also an entry point here to transfer in another lifetime ISA, and although we won't go through this process right now, Plum suggests that the process shouldn't take longer than 30 calendar days. Overall, it's clear that Plum make it super easy to manage lifetime ISAs inside their app. However, my favorite feature set from Plum is actually their automated deposit tools, and we can find this by clicking on the brain. What Plum call the brain is essentially a set of smart saving rules that help you build up your savings. For example, if we pick out a few of these rules, we can see a weekly deposit feature, which allows you to deposit on a weekly basis for your chosen amount. We also have the paydays feature, which allows you to set aside money on payday. We also have roundups, which is what you would expect in rounding up your transactions to the nearest pound from your connected bank account. and then setting aside the difference in your chosen savings accounts. There's a few other deposit tools here, but the one which stands out to me is their AI autosave feature in what Plum call their automatic saving. Plum is well known for their AI features, and they've got a lot of publicity around AI, and this feature here is one of their standout features. It's really at the start of the show in my view. How it works is the AI algorithm analyzes your spending from your connected bank account, works out what it thinks you can afford to save, and then moves the amount into your account automatically. You do still have some control over how aggressive you want the algorithm to be, in that you can set your savings mood. You can set it from shy all the way up to beast mode, so you can dictate if you want it to save a little bit more or less. And overall, this AI autosave feature is extremely powerful because most of us know that we should save, but we often don't, or we overthink it. And that thinking process is taken off our plate by this feature. However, Plum's app isn't just about lifetime ISA features. It's clear that they make it super easy to deposit and manage your lifetime ISA, but they have many features outside of the lifetime ISA, and these features make Plum a super personal finance app. For example, they have features which allow you to budget in tracking your spending, setting up savings pots, opening up a cash ISA or stocks and shares ISA, opening up a pension account, consolidating pensions, and you can even set up a Plum debit card to use abroad. All of these features are available through this single app, and although some of the features require a paid subscription, the lifetime ISA itself is available on the free plan. So if you just want to use Plum for the lifetime ISA, you don't need to pay a fee. Overall, Plum's feature set is a key selling point of the app, and in my view, it's the overall unique selling point of their whole proposition. The deposit automation tools and the wider feature set beyond the cash lifetime ISA is a key reason to use Plum's lifetime ISA ahead of other providers. To finish the video, let's go through some pros and cons to help you determine whether this lifetime ISA is right for you. The most obvious pro is the very good interest rate. Of course, rates may have changed by the time you're watching this, but I have a feeling that whatever the interest rate environment, Plum are adopting a similar strategy to what Moneybox have done in trying to always be near the top of the cash ISA rate table. Another pro is the ability to transfer existing lifetime ISA accounts from other providers into Plum. However, the biggest pro in my view is the feature set. Firstly, the powerful automation tools, particularly the AI autosave feature, and secondly, the wider feature set beyond just the lifetime ISA. If you plan on using Plum for your wider saving, investing, and personal finance needs, then there's a big convenience factor in having everything in one place. On the con side, there are a few things to note, which means that this lifetime ISA won't be perfect for everyone. The first con is the fact that Plum don't currently offer the stocks and shares variant for the lifetime ISA. The final con is the fact that although Plum has many great features, some of them are locked behind paid plans. This con is really me just being picky, as of course Plum has got to make money, they've got to make revenue, and one means to make revenue is locking away some features behind paid plans. In summary, we can finally answer the question from the start of the video in who suits this lifetime ISA. This lifetime ISA is great for those who are looking at the cash variant for lifetime ISAs, want a solid interest rate, want an app packed with cutting edge features, and who want some automation tools, especially around deposits. If you want to sign up to Plum, then I have a link in the description, and if you enjoyed this video, then I'd greatly appreciate a like. Thanks for watching.